New Delhi, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi is traveling to Russia next week for an informal summit with President Vladimir Putin in the Black Sea resort of Sochi, where the two leaders are expected to discuss key international issues, including the U.S. sanctions on Moscow. Modi's May 21 Sochi visit comes weeks after he held similar talks with Chinese President Xi Jinping in the city of Wuhan in an effort to mend bilateral ties after last year's military standoff between the two countries on the Doklam Plateau, a section of disputed territory between China and Bhutan. The Sochi meeting will be an important occasion for the two leaders to exchange views on international matters in a broad and long-term perspective, with the objective of further strengthening our special and privileged strategic partnership, India's External Affairs Ministry said in a statement. Modi and Putin are expected to discuss the U.S. federal law, the Countering America's Adversaries Through Sanctions Act, CAATSA, amid speculation that India's defense procurement from Russia could trigger these sanctions. The two leaders may discuss how to circumvent these sanctions so that military supplies from Russia to India don't get affected, said Pankaj Jha, a professor of defense and strategic studies at O.P. Jindal Global University in the northern Indian state of Haryana. According to a March report by the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, India was the world's largest importer of major arms between 2013 and 2017, accounting for 12% of the global total. It said Russia was the source for 62% of India's arms imports over that period, while New Delhi's arms imports from the U.S. rose by 557% between 2008 to 2012 and 2013 to 2017, making it India's second-largest arms supplier and accounting for 15% of total imports. The tensions between India, on the one side, and Pakistan and China, on the other, are fueling India's growing demand for major weapons, which it remains unable to produce itself, said Seaman Westman, senior researcher with the SIPRI Arms Transfers and Military Expenditure Program. The Modi-Putin meeting comes at a time of geopolitical change and is expected to help the two sides consolidate their strategic ties, which have come under some strain recently. The two countries are old allies with a history of strong cooperation in defense and energy, including the use of nuclear technologies, but for the past few months bilateral relations have suffered, largely because of Moscow's efforts to enhance ties with Pakistan. Russia has started conducting military exercises with Pakistan alongside negotiations relating to defense sales, which makes India uncomfortable. New Delhi has often accused Islamabad of fostering terrorist groups active in India. Analysts view an improvement in Russia-Pakistan ties as a response to India's growing closeness with Washington, both in defense procurement and over the Quad Trilateral Security Dialogue, an initiative involving the US, India, Japan and Australia with the aim of containing China in the Indo-Pacific region. Russia and China have also been drawing closer, with both feeling the heat from the administration of U.S. President Donald Trump. In the last 6 months there have been a series of parleys between the Pakistani establishment and Russia on taking forward their ties, including their defense cooperation, Jha said. He pointed out that Russia has also issued statements to the effect that Pakistan is making its best efforts to counter terrorism, which India has not appreciated. He said that such statements ran contrary to what Modi has been emphasizing for several years, that Pakistan is a hotbed of terrorism and should be countered by international institutions. The Sochi meeting comes ahead of the annual India-Russia summit in October. Modi and Putin are scheduled to meet again in June during the Shanghai Cooperation Organization summit in China, and at the summit of BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa, in July in South Africa, as well as at the G20 meeting on November 30 and December 1 in Argentina. All these summits follow a set agenda, with focused discussion points and timings. Experts point out that informal summits allow leaders a more free setting in which to examine each other's objectives and discuss a variety of issues. Among other topics expected to feature in the Modi-Putin talks are the Iran nuclear deal, North Korea and Afghanistan. Nikkei staff writer Yuji Karonuma in New Delhi contributed to this article.